Hi, it is a beautiful spring day in Cape Town after a long, cold winter, cold by Cape Town standards. And I was feeling the temperature in my room, opening up the windows, and it reminded me of the spaces that we create as facilitators and coaches for people. So I'm sure you've heard the term creating the container or creating the space for conversations. And there is a lot that we do physically. We set up the room, we in a way that signals collaboration. We make sure that people feel welcome. But I wonder how often at the pace that we are going currently, you check yourself. I'm reminded of a friend of mine, Sir Fas, who used to wash penguins, the Sankop, where injured birds and birds that are contaminated by oil spills get taken, and members of the public volunteer to go wash the birds. And Safas used to say, you need to check yourself before you go and wash a penguin, because if there's any aggression or irritation or edginess in you, you can be sure that you're going to get bitten. I've got a friend who's a beekeeper that says the same. And what that reminds me of is that there are things that we are as human beings are not attuned to. Animals and insects can feel the vibes of something, but we definitely are influenced by it, but we don't often register it. So as the facilitator, whatever you're going to bring with you into a room, that's going to perfume the air. So whether it's good vibes, whether it's not so good vibes, it will impact the space that you are creating for others, and it will impact what happens for them as well, even though they may not be aware of it. The same is also true in the reverse. So as facilitators and coaches, a read on ourselves, if you find yourself becoming agitated or anxious or even angry, you may want to have a look at what's going on in the group. It may just be your spidey senses giving you some data that you are not rationally gathering, or that you are not consciously gathering. So it's really important to know what's going on for us at any point, whether it's before walking into the room or whilst in the room. It's really important for us to know what's going on, because that gives us more data, and when we share that with the group that we are in, so like we call in structural dynamics doing a bystand, saying, I'm noticing that I'm getting agitated, or I'm noticing that I'm getting uncomfortable. Sometimes it may not resonate with people at all. And sometimes it may be revealing the system to itself, like we call it in systems coaching. Okay, so sometimes it's information that when given to people, they recognize it in themselves. Oh, actually, I wasn't paying attention to that, but now that you mention it, I'm noticing that I'm feeling the same. And that's data for the group. So in the Eastern traditions, they always say, know thyself. That knowledge extends to what is your state, emotional, intellectual, physical, before you step into a room. And can you do a pulse check on that whilst you're in the room, and use that as additional data to what you can hear with your ears and see with your eyes in the room? It becomes a great tool if you can wield it properly.